First and foremost, we are cannabis consumers, we are cannabis connoisseurs, we are cannabis cultivators, we are cannabis curators. We're not here to bring you solely the highest cannabinoid profiles. We know test results don't always tell the full story of a flower's terpene expression, which is why we hunt. Not just for the quote craft grown, but for the true top shelf. For that experience that makes your senses tingle when you pop a pack open. For that inhalation that coats your taste buds from puff to puff. We're not looking for right now. We're looking for the future. So put on your shoes and follow your nose. Welcome to the flavor chase. 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 I'm your host, Loner Mob, and thanks for joining me once again. If this is your first episode, the Flavor Chase is an unbiased public cannabis consultation scene for the emerging Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and Type 4 cannabis markets. If you're unsure what Type 1 through Type 4 are, check the description in this video. You'll learn what that is, and when you come back, you'll see that I'm looking for the top shelf in every category, right? The top shelf flower, the top shelf concentrates, and the top shelf edibles. Who's got them? Well, we're looking for them around the country. If you like content like that, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, click the notification bell, all that jazz. Most importantly though, tell your friends, tell your peoples, tell your smokers that there's something going down in this room. And look, if you really want to support the channel, and by no means, right, are you required to do this, but check the merch link in the description. Cop you a shirt, a hoodie, a beanie, a hat, anything you want to. Anything you do to support the channel really helps, goes a long way. And I truly do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Really thank you to anybody who's rocked with me so far. All right, now that we got all that out the way, what we got right here in this Calyx container. We have some Type 2 cannabis flower from Maynardville, Tennessee. This is Alpen Flow from Flow Gardens. So let's get into it. Flow Gardens is an indoor hemp cultivation facility based in Maynardville, Tennessee. They specialize in Type 3 and Type 2 genetics, and they also produce edibles as well as concentrates. This right here is Alpen Flow, and is a cross of the strain Alpen Gleaux, bred by Thomas of High Alpine Genetics, to the in-house strain Flow from Flow Gardens. This is a collaborative strain right here. This is Alpen Flow, I believe, pheno number 5. I could be wrong, right? But I know Thomas of High Alpine Genetics is selling Alpen Flow, his pheno number 4. This one here is pheno number 5. And, well, looking forward to see what this one is talking about. I believe this is a Type 2 2-to-1 strain, 2-to-1, I believe, in CBDA to THCA. I could be wrong on that, and if I am wrong, please do correct me in the comments. Check Flow Gardens website, whatever you want to do, right? And I'm really looking forward to see what this one is talking about. Flow was a very popular strain from Flow Gardens that they released that I never had its opportunity to try. So why not try its offspring right here in Alpen Flow? Let's go ahead and pop this container open, see what this flower looks like, what it smells like, and then you already know what the rest is. So let's do it. Kind of a nice little cologne scent to it, kind of an Alpen Gleaux kind of scent. Okay. And it's a beautiful flower. Okay. Very frosty, but also kind of foxtaily in structure, right? Not necessarily dense nugs, but nugs that are very much, you know, just tall and kind of lanky. This is listed as a hybrid flower, and it does have that hybrid kind of density to it. It's not a very loose, it's kind of a loose sativa structure, but not a very loose sativa structure. And a very frosty flower, Nice light greens, a couple different shades of green in here, little bits of purple, orange hairs, and heavy and trichome coverage. Let's go ahead and why don't we put these two nugs right here to the side, and we'll smoke those, and everything else can go back in this container. And the cure on this flower, well, it's pretty nice and dense right here, and seems like it's got a nice cure on it. Let's see how that snap is. I'm pretty sure you heard that. And on the inside, covered in trichomes, little bit of a lighter nose, right? It looks louder than it smells, but it does look and smell good. Gonna grind this down, see how it smells. Okay, once you grind it down, the smell does change up a little bit. It doesn't necessarily get too much louder, but it does get a little bit louder, and that kind of Alpen Gleaux smell, it's kind of like that with a little bit of earthiness to it. Not a heavy nose to it, but a noticeable one. And while I go ahead and roll this flower up, as I'm getting ready to do, why don't you check out these high resolution photos of the flower so you can see, what I'm about to smoke on. So let's do it. Alright, we got the joint rolled up, and what we roll it up with, a Doobie Ninja rolling paper. Shouts out Doobie Ninja, one of the sponsors of the show. If you want to help reforest the world while you burn these trees down at the same time, nice conundrum, check out Doobie Ninja rolling papers. Each pack you purchase helps reforestation efforts right now in California with aspirations to go global. If you want to see it happen, please do support. They support Loner Mob, they support the Flavor Chase, why not support them? Doobie Ninja. Alright, well, back to this flower right here. What's this dry hit hitting like? It's kind of like Alpen Gleaux. If you've had any of the Alpen Gleaux crosses, like say Legendary Platinum OG, this taste here is pretty familiar to me, right? It's not too far off from it. Kind of cologne, kind of like a cologne, like a floral cologne, right? Something that definitely kind of by the taste of it, by the nose of it, smells like something you would actually wear on your skin. You know what I mean? But that's the dry hit. Let's see what happens when we light this one up. Join me on this smoke session that I'm about to fast forward through while I smoke this and then give you the nitty gritty. Like many of the cannabis flowers, first thing I'll note is that this is smooth on the exhale. Burns a nice light ash and does produce a nice resin ring around the cherry of the joint. The nostril exhales are also noticeable, but very much Alpen Gleaux. Very much a very Alpen Gleaux taste, if you're familiar with that strain. For where I'm at right now in the joint as well, the effects are kicking in, and I can tell it's going to be a pretty potent experience. Okay, for where I'm at so far in the joint, which is nearly done, I think I'm ready to give my thoughts here on this flower right here. So, what do I think about Alpen Flow from Flow Gardens? And after I give those thoughts, what shelf is it going to land on? Let's get into this. For appearance, Alpen Flow from Flow Gardens is a very unique and beautiful strain, right? Excellent green color, excellent trichome coverage, beautiful orange hairs, right? The one thing though is that it's not necessarily dense and that it doesn't fill out, but it goes up, right? It's a strain that's kind of foxtaily and just going up, right? Which is very unique in its appearance. You don't see that too often, right, with a lot of cannabis strains, but we'll see what happens as they dial this one in their grow setup. As far as the nose, well, it's not as loud. It's not as loud as I would have wanted it to be, right? Especially when you have something that's more of a type 2 genetic. Gorilla CBD right now from 5 Leaf Wellness, also based in Tennessee. That currently takes the type 2 cake for me right there. That's the best one going. If you can find that one, get that one, right? If you can handle your type 2s, right? This one here, while not as loud as I would have liked it to be, it is pleasant, right? I know some people who don't like the Alpen Gleaux scent. Personally, I do like the Alpen Gleaux scent. I like that kind of floral cologne, right? I rock with that, right? I don't find nothing wrong with that like that, right? But I've heard so many people on Reddit talk about the strain Flow from Flow Gardens, which I've never tried. And I really wanted to know what that one smelled like, you know what I mean? And I don't really feel like I smell that in this one. I smell Alpen Gleaux. Somebody did make a comment to me in the past, and they said that, you know, when Alpen Gleaux is crossed to certain strains, it really kind of takes over the terpene profile. And I can kind of see that. Right? I haven't really had many Alpen Gleaux crosses that didn't taste like Alpen Gleaux. You know what I mean? That tasted like the other strain, right? Or had something else going on to it. However, some of the strains that Alpen Gleaux has been bred to, and then those strains that were then further, you know, that were then later crossed on, those strains smell amazing to me. Like, for example, Pink Panther, it's a nice smelling Alpen Gleaux cross with noticeable Alpen Gleaux bits to it, right? But Platinum Panther is like that plus something else, you know what I mean? You really kind of notice the legendary OG mixed with that. So this one here, yeah, this just reminds me of Alpen Gleaux as far as the nose. And then as far as the taste is concerned, real similar to how it smells, right? It has that Alpen Gleaux kind of taste to it with a bit of earthiness on it as well. A lot of CBD strains kind of have a certain earthiness to them. This one doesn't really fall far from it. It has kind of earthy and smooth front lead, but then like a pretty neutral and kind of cologne exhale, right? I do enjoy the taste on this one here. Would I like it to be more pronounced? Of course, I always want the flower to be more pronounced. As loud as you can make it, that's how I want to smoke it, right? But this one here, yeah, right? Good taste on it. Not necessarily the best taste. It could taste a little stronger to me, right? But I do like the direction that it's leaning. Very reminiscent, though, of many of the CBD strains that you may have tried, right? It's not a gassy strain, right? It's pretty floral, got earthiness and some floralness and kind of like an earthy floral cologne, right? So that's a taste right there. For effects, this one is a hitter, right? If you can handle your type 2, if you can handle THCA, this one is worth checking out. I think you'll feel pretty good off of it, right? The feeling that I feel right now is a little bit heavy, right? It's heavy in the chest, it's heavier in the body. You know, the mind is active, but more so I'm very relaxed right now, right? I still feel very functional, but I have a high tolerance. But I feel functional, right? I feel like I can do whatever. I can still go about my day, but it's late at night, so I also can just go to sleep and just knock the out, right? Let me light this back up. While I'm at it, I just want to say that we are at a very weird and strange time in society, not with just everything else that's going on, but also just with really witnessing the people themselves opening up a cannabis market, right? Opening up a full cannabis market where you can truly dose yourself, whether you want CBG, CBDV, CBD, you want to experience CBC, you want THC, you want THCV, right? It's very beautiful to see these things happen right now and just to naturally blossom. Good things won't last forever. So if you have never had a chance to try a type 2 and you want to, right, and you've experienced type 3 and you want to experience a little bit more, it's so cool that you can really dose yourself, right? You can say, no, I want to start with type 4 and work my way up. Oh man, maybe this one is a little too strong for me, so I'm gonna stay in this region right here. This is where I enjoy myself, right? It would be so great to live in a world where this was able to be normalized without judgment, and without judgment for society for what you're doing in the first place, and also judgment from users as to preference of cannabinoid, right? There are some people who will try to clown you if you want to smoke some CBD, right? And it's some people who, you know, you see society try to clown for wanting to smoke THC, right? It's great to see that this market is opened up and people can really start to just truly enjoy it while we can. So on that note, if you can, go ahead and try some type 2 flower. I'm going to go ahead and say that this Alpen Flow right here, it was I believe a $27 eighth. I think a $27 eighth. And I do think the money was well spent. It's very toe-to-toe with something that would cost maybe about $35 in a California cannabis dispensary. As far as how it looks, you know, it looks like it would be more in the $40, $45 range, right? And for $27, you're getting something that's just as good, right? You're getting something that's just as good. When I say these things too, right, that's the retail price, and retail price is usually about double wholesale, right? So you be seeing something like that would go for maybe about 20, 25 wholesale, right? So, or in this case here, street price, right? $25, $30 street price. So you're paying basically Cali street price for some good clean cannabis, and you know who grew it, right? You know you can follow the grower, the lead grower on Instagram. It's really dope to see these things happen in the market right now, just all together, right? On that note, Alpen Flow from Flow Gardens, for how I feel right now and for what I believe about that nose, that smell, this appearance, and you know, that taste. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this one here is some good mid. Would I reach for this? Would I reach for this one out of everything that I got? Yeah, I think I would, right? Whether it's gonna be used by itself or as some filler, right? Or just blend it in with something for a salad, right? I think I actually would like to have something like this in the locker, right? And maybe you would too. I spent my money, so you ain't have to, or you might want to. That's how I feel on that one. Well, on that note, I'm lit, I'm loaded, and I know you relate. And it's always someone looking for a player to hate, but we too busy, we got flavors to chase. So put on your shoes and follow your nose. Welcome to the flavor chase. We in search for the fire, that tropical Kool-Aid mixed with burnt rubber ties that we throw up in the paper, we favor and roll it up. Look like Olympic torches, we hoping we showing up. Type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. What I want, what it do, what I need, my dro. This be my show, going out to all the coasts. It's the flavor chase, player and loner mob, the host.